He prayed with her at 3 a.m. He made love to her for 2 hours. Then on the same morning, his 30th birthday, he stabbed her 76 times. And when police came, this man, a pastor, stood before all Nigeria and said, "My wife stabbed herself to death 76 times. She stabbed herself." Born on April 9, 1982 in Lagos, Titilayo was educated at Ambrose Ali University, Ekpoma, Delta State, before completing her postgraduate studies at Lagos State University, LASU, where she met the man who would eventually take her life. She was ambitious. She was a banker at Sky Bank. She had a 2-year-old daughter named Olamide, who needed her mother. Olamide was taken away since the death of her mother and remains in the custody of the deceased family. That little girl is a teenager now, growing up with no mother because of what happened on June 24, 2011. On the surface, Akolode Arowolo looks like everything Nigerian parents prayed for. Educated, church-going, a youth pastor. But the marriage was never built on solid ground. Akolode himself admitted, "I was dating another born-again Christian lady before I got entangled with Titilayo. When I discovered she was pregnant, we had to hurry to the altar to cover the shame. First, rushed, resentful from day one. Judge Oyahiri, the deceased father, and his daughter Ije testified that Akolode's marriage to Titilayo was characterized by violence and abuse, and that the family had several times settled serious fights between the couples. Titilayo was a banker with Sky Bank, and her colleagues said she came to work with bruises many times. His own father knew, her father knew, her colleagues knew, and nobody stopped it. Titilayo's stepmother, Mrs. Adetun Oyakhilome, testified that the deceased was planning to divorce her husband before she was killed. She made her decision. She was leaving, and that decision likely cost her life because abusers are most dangerous when control slips away. It was a Friday, Akolode's 30th birthday. He claimed they prayed together at 3 a.m., made love, and had a peaceful morning. Then he says his wife became possessed, grabbed a knife, stabbed him, and accidentally stabbed herself to death 76 times. When the co-tenant, Mr. Adewale Adeyemi, heard a loud noise and came out, he saw Akolode rushing out with deep cuts on his palm. He also saw a hammer and a knife with a broken handle in the yard. A hammer, a knife with a broken handle. This is not evidence of self-stabbing. This is the evidence of extreme violence. The security guard, Mr. Sadu, alleged that he saw Mr. Akolode washing blood from his hands while urging him to hurriedly open the gate. If your wife just killed herself, why are you stopping to wash your hands before running for help? The landlord testified that another tenant saw Akolode jumping from the balcony of his apartment on the day of the incident, running, escaping, fleeing the scene. A blood-stained 100 naira note was recovered from Akolode's vehicle, along with a blood-soaked pair of jeans, a blood-soaked bedsheet and pillowcase, a hammer, a kitchen knife, frying spoon, and a spatula, all entered as court exhibits. Professor John Oladipo Obafungwa, the chief medical examiner of Lagos State, testified that his autopsy revealed Titilayo was killed through 76 knife stab wounds. The wounds affected the left eye, upper chest, right chest, and collarbone. Men in that packed courtroom sobbed as he presented his life, and his professional conclusion: all these injuries could not have been self-inflicted. Even if you were inflicting it on yourself, you would have dropped the knife at some point. Science spoke, medicine spoke, and there is nothing left for Akolode to say. Justice Okpono said the defendant's own testimony served to tighten the noose around his neck, as it was riddled with contradictions, describing his evidence as disjointed statements and flux past. February 21st, 2014, Ikeja High Court, Lagos, 26 months of trial and 21 witnesses. Before the judgment, as soon as Akolode was brought into the courtroom, he knelt down in prayers for a couple of minutes, apparently beseeching God's way to sway judgment in his favor. God did not sway judgment that day. Justice Latifa held that the circumstantial evidence provided the murder charge beyond reasonable doubt. I pronounced the defendants guilty and accordingly sentenced to death, the court held. Immediately after the judgment, the convicted shouted, "Jesus, my Lord," broke into tears and called on his late wife to come and defend him. He called on the woman he murdered to defend him, in the same court where 76 stab wounds had just convicted him. Titilayo's father said in response to the judgment that he had no cause to rejoice because the sentence of Akolode meant he was losing a son as well. That is a man speaking from pure grief. There are no winners here. Here's what this case really says. We faced Titilayo long before June 24, 2011. She came to work with bruises repeatedly. Her colleagues saw it, his family saw it, and her family saw it. And the response was prayer, elder meetings, and go back and be a better wife. No protection order, no consequences for Akolode. Because in Nigeria, a man hitting his wife was a family matter until it became a crime scene. The second thing this case tells us is that religious marks is one of the most dangerous tools an abuser can wear. He was a pastor. He held a Bible in court with his chained hands. His own mother called him God-fearing. And Titilayo, who likely stayed longer than she should have because church told her to submit and keep her married, paid with her life. How many women across Nigeria right now are being told by a pastor, a deacon, or a church elder to go back to a dangerous home? Now, here's what I need from you. Share this video. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And if you know a woman showing up to work or church with unexplained bruises, speak to her privately. Tell her you see her. Titilayo, born April 9, 1982, murdered June 24, 2011, age 29. She deserves better from her husband, from her community, and from all of us. This has been True Crime Stories with CD. Until next time, stay safe, speak up, and never stop demanding justice.